Now, there was going to be a theme to tonight's programme. We were going to do tuned cars. I was going to tell you about a Brabus Mercedes that could do 200 miles an hour and a Mini with 200 brake horsepower. And I got a whole load of these cars together and took them to a stud farm in Newmarket. I have no idea why, I don't know what I was thinking of. And this is what happened. Here I am, look, blathering on about something or other. And clearly only the horse is excited by what I had to say. So, really, we scrubbed the whole thing. Only one bit of that idea still remains, the Range Rover. It used to be very easy to make one of these things better. You just did all the nuts and bolts up properly. But since the new one came out, the one that we made Car of the Year last year, it's very difficult to improve it. That hasn't stopped people trying, though. This is the Range Rover 580S, which has been breathed on by a company called Overfinch. It's priced at £45,000, plus £60,000 for the original car. What Overfinch used to do with the old Range Rover was replace the standard engine with a 5.7-litre V8 from a Corvette. It was fun, if your name was BP Esso McShell. With the new one, though, they've stuck with the standard BMW engine, boring it out to 5 litres and fitting a hugely expensive crankshaft. Think of this, then, as a Range Rover M5. You get 380 brake horsepower. That's 100 more than standard. 380 brake horsepower is what you used to get out of a Ferrari 355. And they fiddled with the gearbox, so now when you floor it, it changes down immediately. Immediately, and you're off. To demonstrate what all this power means, I've organised a little drag race. A Mercedes SLK versus a 2.5-ton truck. And we're not cheating. This Mercedes has the big engine, the 3.2-litre V6. So think of it then as a race between an athlete and someone who's fat. Oh, and to make the fat man's job a little harder, he'll be racing off-road. Sport mode. 2,000 RPM and... I'm ahead. It's getting awfully bumpy. Whoa. Whoa. I am in the lead. I've got double vision. I'm being chased by 2 Mercedes. And I win. God, this thing's quick. On the road, the Overfinch does 0 to 60 in 7.1 seconds and has a top speed of 140. The only problem is that the steering and the suspension haven't been changed at all. It's a bit like sliding down a black run in a wardrobe. It's a giggle, but you've got no real say in the direction of travel. So, it's not a nimble sports car then, more of a Mach 4 bulldozer. But the best thing about this car is not the engine, or the gearbox, or the TV screens in the back of the headrest, or the hand-stitched leather, or the fancy wheels. The best bit is to be found in the boot. You see, Land Rover say that if you want 7 seats, you have to buy a Discovery. It's a business practice I think they got from Das Kapital. But Overfinch are different. Look, 2 little seats with seat belts that fold away. And some hay for the horses, look. Isn't that terrific? The normal Range Rover is a very good car, but this is a rock-crushing, people-carrying, Porsche-bashing, fuel-guzzling, point-and-squirt, muscle-bound mountain goat.
Do you know what I was reminded of watching that? Do you remember that Dutch carver we had on last week?
Yeah.
Leany, 45-degree lean thing. It's like that.
You are right. You'd have to be completely insane to try and set a time round the track in this.
Oh, mad.
So, that'll be a job for the Stig, then.
Yeah.
Right, thundering off the line like a big V8 hippopotamus. So wet out there. Now, of course, the Overfinch has four-wheel drive, also weighs as much as a church. Stig there in a suave mood. And look at the body roll through Chicago. That is scary. Now, he's lumbering up to the hammerhead. Looking a bit slow, it must be said. Heaving through the follow-through. This thing is immense in a straight line. Not so fond of bends, however. Up to the last bend, lots more. He's got off-road! Because he can! He's got off-road into Gambon now! And across the line in 1 minute 44 seconds, despite the cheat, the slowest ever.
It sounded good, though.
It did sound good. I have to tell you, though, the Stig afterwards said that's the first time he's ever been scared behind the wheel of a car.
Really?
Yeah, which is marvellous. Now, we got to the bit of the programme, really, which we call the broken biscuit section. It's all the stuff that we said we were going to do as the series has progressed that we haven't done. We're going to cram it into the last few minutes. And actually, since we're standing here, let's stick with the Range Rover. You see, when it was launched last year, Land Rover said, don't worry, we're building this one properly. So we said, OK, if you're so confident, lend us one for 6 months, we'll run it, and we'll see if anything goes wrong.
Actually, yeah, you then went on to say, and if anything does go wrong, you would shoot the managing director's dog, if we remember.
I did say that.
Yeah.
And we've had stacks of letters from people who say that theirs has gone wrong. I was talking to a chap in the audience just a few minutes ago, and he said, I've just bought, and I said, is it here? He said, no, I've come down in a Discovery, it's broken. However, the deal was, if this one goes wrong, this is the one they lent us. Now, I've given it a hard time. We've used it as a Top Gear chase car. It's been off-road. It is disgusting. Worst test of all, kids' school run car. They treat it, well, like animals, really. And here we are, 6 months on.
It's done the lot. And what's the news for the dog?
Well, last week it was good. But unfortunately, just the other day, this is the electric steering wheel adjuster. Works perfectly OK going in and out.
Yeah.
Won't go up and down.
Oh, dear. Mind you, it's not the sort of thing you can kill a man's dog over, is it?
No, and I don't think we could even wound the dog for that. However, I was up at Land Rover the other day, and it turns out the managing director is a keen bonsai enthusiast.
Oh, yeah.
And I stole this from his desk. It's something he's been nurturing since he was a child. So,